Hello and welcome back to another entry in the Yakuza series. Today's entry is going to be Yakuza 3 or Untitled 3, and though I played 0 the most at about 7 times, 3 comes close at about 5 times, including its original release on the PS3. So as I proceed with this video, hopefully the many times I've played 3 will help me explain how I feel about it. Unlike the previous entries, which have released in a little more recent years, 3 is from early 2009, so what we have here is the sequel to the story of Kiryu, but the predecessor of the many mechanics and features of later releases in the series that would be implemented. I'll be using the remaster version today and try to give an idea of some of the changes from the original release. Now, let's get into Kiryu trying to leave the Yakuza behind, only to be pulled back in, finding out that family isn't just who you're born with, and Kiryu defending his new home. Join me in one of the older Yakuza titles as I try to answer the question, just how good is Yakuza 3 Remastered?
I'm so hungry!
Here you go!
Ichiban Senpai! Whoa! Aren't you President Ichiban from Ichiban Confections?
I sure am!
Eat at Ichiban's Ichiban Senpai!
First in smiles, Ichiban Confections!
Before we really dig into the main topic of today, Old Hallows Eve is here-ish, and I wanted to recommend some notable games for the holiday to you viewers. First up is Alan Wake, shameless plug to my video of the same name, the game from Remedy Entertainment about Alan Wake fighting a cosmic horror called the Dark Presence, an episodic thriller with the long-awaited sequel soon coming, and I can recommend this for the time of the season. Second, if bustin' makes you feel good, then Ghostbusters Remastered is a fine choice. Playing as the Rookie, take control of a proton pack and help the Ghostbusters take on a ghost resurgence in the third Ghostbusters movie we didn't get until Ghostbusters Afterlife. Third is a personal favorite, the Dead Space 1 game / the remake. Take control of engineer Isaac Clarke as he goes on a seemingly routine repair mission only to encounter alien horrors in this horror classic. Whether it's the original or the remake, they're great for the season. Fourth, if more action than horror is your thing, Resident Evil 4 and its remake is also a solid choice. Play as Leon S. Kennedy as he mounts a one-man mission to save the abducted president's daughter in one of the most genre-defining, beginner-friendly entries of the long-running Resident Evil series. Whether the original or remake, it's a fantastic choice. Finally, if you want just a game stuffed with Halloween goodness and just a solid platformer game, Pumpkin Jack is here, taking on Jack. Go through various levels that capture the Halloween spirit in this pretty solid 3D platformer. Okay, enough suggestions. The master of fisting is in. So, after I played Kiwami 2, I wanted to play and see more of Kiryu's story, but at the time there were no remastered versions to play, so I had to track down the PS3 copy. It wasn't too difficult to find. There were noticeably immediate issues with it. For example, were the subtitles being translated a little weird, making, for example, the Shintaro Kazuma double being Kentaro Uma, which, after playing the previous titles, really threw me off. Another fun fact is that 3 was developed for PS3 in around 9 months, which is impressive since PS3 very notorious at the time for being difficult to develop for. So, though I enjoyed my time with the original version, the eventual announcements of the remastered version made me very excited with the various improvements. It also exposed me to the idea of PS3 exclusives getting ports to newer hardware and experiencing 3 in a new way, with the first thing, other than better translations and visuals, being 3's gameplay. One of the biggest changes between the versions I noticed was that Kiryu felt a bit less clunky to play. Don't misunderstand, compared to the previous games, 3 is still very clunky in comparison, but it's no less fun to play, and seeing the beginnings of the later stables to the combat system is still pretty interesting to see. Thankfully, Ryuga Gotoku Studios reworked the system a little bit, making Kiryu move a bit quicker with his combos, being able to quick step a bit further and easier. And finally, the enemies felt less block happy, at least to me, leading the albeit clunky combat feeling a bit closer to Zero and Kiwami 1's. Even using weapons sometimes is more fulfilling now, and I found myself throwing enemies more often too. As per usual though, with the master of the way of fisting isn't complete without his heat actions. They are still a highlight, but do noticeably come off lesser than previous titles. But there are notable ones like Kiryu playing Spin the Beer Bottle Box, and the inciting terror heat action having Kiryu pull a flash-like move. And as usual, I question the no body count. Returning is the Feel the Heat action, serving less as boss fight finishers and more as flashy attacks, which can still be satisfying. The bosses are also good, but the final boss against Mine and the Cosma Double stuck out the most, at least for me. With Mine being set up and built up as a dark mirror version of Kiryu, with one of the best boss themes in the game. Which also got reworked for the opening for most of the releases of Yakuza 3, and the Cosma fight fulfilling the what if Kiryu fucked Cosma fantasy in a pretty fairly satisfying way. Kiryu also gains experience similar to Kiwami 1 with the point system, but using a per upgrade bar meter, making the upgrades a bit slower to do. But to coincide with the upgrades, Kiryu gets these revelations, which after meeting a man named Matt in the new area of Okinawa, who gives Kiryu tips to take opportune photos, these give him his revelations, also known as new moves. And I have to say, a lot of these are hilarious to watch. You can fail them too, because of QTEs or if you pick the wrong dialogue. Thankfully though, just leaving the area resets them so you can retry them later. There are also mini games returning again, with golf, albeit golf is a lot more janky this time. The Underground Arena Coliseum, and Boxelios, a type of arcade side-scroller similar to titles like, I want to say, Gradius, and is original to the Yakuza games. A majority of the minigames are relatively the same from the previous titles and control about the same, so not many really stick look at. Locker keys also return for Kamurocho and the new hub area of Ryukyu Okinawa, with various items in them. That's most of 3's gameplay out of the way, so how about we get into some of the story content and the immersion. Sub-stories return with a little over 100 of them, and these are split between Kamurocho and Ryukyu. Most of these stories, though, have multiple parts to them, so it's not really over 100. It's just one story that's over a longer period of time, such as Kiryu learning English from a scammer, helping a lady get her dog back from being kidnapped, or seeing a couple find out that they're long-lost siblings. They're still highlight, but feel a bit lesser in the quality department, which is a bit disappointing since they were so good in previous games. It was more quantity over quality with 3 from the feel of it, at least. Still on point though is the music. Mina'S boss theme was a highlight, but another one is for the notable chase minigames, turning these mundane chases into fun runs that are way too epic in feel thanks to the music.
Fast as fuck, boy. Still fast as fuck, boy. Come get some.
待ておい
Then there's the voice acting being on par with previous games. Some spoilers to demonstrate my points here, but here's a timestamp if that worries you, with many characters giving some great performances. Most notably were with the newcomers of Saki and her adoptive father Nakahara being massive highlights for me, with them reconnecting after what seems like Saki ran back to her mom, turning out she didn't, and her mom being just freaking awful.
大丈夫ですか兄貴お嬢先
中原の親父さんな、お前がいなくなってすごく心配していたんだ。お前がな、本当の母親のとこに行っちゃったんじゃないかと思ってすごく寂しがっていたんだ。お前は中原と母親どっちと一緒にいたいんだ。
何が娘よ、何が母親よ、バッカじゃないのあんたたち。
何？
私はね、この子のせいで人生めちゃくちゃになったのよ。生まれた時からいっつも邪魔だった。
このアマ王将の前でなんてこと
うるさい、私に触らないで。そんなにその子が欲しいんならあんたにくれてやるわ。
くそ、なんて母親だ。実の子の目の前で。これじゃあ先があんまりにも。
先なら大丈夫だ。スケッチブックの中身見たことないだろう。
ああ、
見てみろ。
いつも見守ってくれてありがとう。
もう答えは出ていたんだ。サキはあんたの本当の娘なんだ。そうだろ？ サキ。
さっきさっきありがとうな。ありがとうな。さきさき。
And I'm not crying, you're crying. This scene gets me teared up every single time I play the game. Then there's the sudden English being spoken in a Yakuza game, throwing me off multiple times, mostly with the man in black.
お前はどうしてお前が
Looks like you're a little late. You just missed him. If I'd known it would have come to this, I'd have killed you when first we met.
なんだと大悟はどこだどこへやった
If you're looking for Daigo, Mine's taken him up to the roof.
屋上だなそうか屋上に行くにはあんたを倒してからにしろと
You're welcome to try. This is the end of the line for you, Kazuma Kiryu.
FBI. I'm policeman. I'm just showing him how to take a gun from a suspect.
All of a sudden, you speaking English now, huh?
A little.
A little my ass, you lied to me.
I didn't say I didn't. You assume I didn't.
Then Kiryu bearing witness to the, up till this moment, mute Saki speaking to Nakahara post a fatal shot and still in recovery, doing this.
おしょ
中原
なんだと魂よ久々に思い出したぜ街で暴れ回った頃の自分をよ桐生俺は平気だそっちはお前に任せた
Houston, we have no problems.
And Kiryu's emotions with what happens to his new friend Rikia is just gut-wrenching to hear.
わかったわかったから死ぬな死ぬなリキヤ
すみません
リキヤおいリキヤおいお前何勝手に死んでんだよおい俺許さねえぞおいリキヤ返事をしろリキヤ
Son of a bitch!
Then the orphanage kids are interesting to see and interact with. Say what you will, I still kind of like the kids. They even give Kiryu his greatest challenge, cooking. But seriously, 3's performances are still top-notch to see and hear. Do any of you know about Crash Bandicoot being called Sonic's ass game? Well, this is Kiryu's back game. And Kiryu can have some really funny interactions, making for some funny, laughed out loud moments like this one.
Surprise, motherfucker!
ちょっとお客さん。うちはビジネスホテルじゃないんだよ。カップル以外はお断り。
どういうことだ？
あんたたちどうせろくな商売してない人たちでしょう。うちの部屋使って犯罪まがいのことされても困んのよ。
要は目的がはっきりしてないとダメみたいっすね。ねえおばちゃん。
はい。
カップルじゃなきゃダメなんですよね。
そうですよ。
いや私と兄貴はラブラブなカップルだから問題ないでしょ。
おい。
普段はカッコつけてるけど、たまにはイチャイチャしたいのよ。
あんたたちそうだったの。はいはい、それならいいわよ。今この401しか空いてないから、安い分狭いけど我慢してね。
どうも。
エレベーター奥にあるから、ごゆっくり。
神田も確か4階でしたよね。
ああ。
でかい組織の親分なのに金ないんすかね。
さあな、自分で金出すのが嫌いなだけなんじゃないのか。タグ、いつまでやってんだお前。
すいません。すいません。
Ah, the return of the Y-boner with a vengeance.
Let's take another look at that beautiful back.
何をする気だ？
お前みたいな人間には口で説明しても伝わらない。だったら俺なりのやり方で。
What, am I being cringe?
Well, just look at all the f***s I give.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
So, the story of 3 follows Kiryu and Haruka making their home in Okinawa at the Morning Glory Orphanage, the same place Kiryu grew up in when they learn of Nakahara being shot by the ghost of Shintaro Kazuma, who has ties to a similar altercation involving Daido Dojima. Now, roughly 2 years later, in establishing a new home and relationships in Okinawa, Kiryu becomes embroiled in an internal Tojo dispute again that seems focused on a pair of resort and military base set for being built in Okinawa, with Kiryu's orphanage being a key part in most of the building proceedings. What starts out as a seemingly simple Tojo dispute ends up being a spy thriller scenario with a secret organization called Black Monday, turning the usual Yakuza plot into a 007 plot with some nods here and there, and Kiryu writing in a
The Lockheed SR-71 Blackbird, an advanced long-range strategic reconnaissance aircraft capable of Mach 3 and an altitude of 85,000 feet.
You sure do seem to know a lot about it.
Do you even read my Christmas list?
Kiryu faces various foes, from the returning Lao Kalan seeking revenge.
They want revenge. 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 Revenge.
The most worthless of causes.
To including the then unknown twin, Joji Kazuma, testing his bonds greater than blood.
が重要なのは血じゃない。俺とおやっさんは絆でつながってる。
and a dark reflection in Yoshitaka Mine putting his ideals to the test, all culminating in an investigation that shakes the Tojo clan's foundations again, thanks to just a small orphanage in Okinawa. And despite the many odds Kiryu and his allies come across, they stop Black Monday and the Tojo conflict, leading to a brighter tomorrow for most of them. As 3 wraps up a bit more, we begin to arrive at the end of this video. Even though I gave a pretty general synopsis, 3's story is one of the simpler ones in the series, being just a bit more complex than Kiwami 1's at least, and being one of the more unique ones with its spy thriller feel. I also mentioned in 0 that 3's build-up to its good parts is probably the slowest. I still feel that way now after doing these back-to-back revisits, but I also welcome the slower pace because Kiwami 1 and 2 were really quick into the action, giving me at least some time to just relax with 3. Also, seeing Kiryu in this new setting and environment was something I really liked to see too. This then brings me to some points of contention. The gameplay is clunky. The game is still 15 years old, and though the remaster tweaked it a little bit, the age still does show. The story, while good, yes, does take a bit long to get moving, and the fact 3 goes back and forth with timeline skips in the opening hour doesn't help matters with it. And finally is the Orphans of Morning Glory. While I myself like them and enjoyed Kiryu interacting with them, their parts in the overall story felt like they're mostly filler material that take the pacing down a couple pegs. So I do understand the criticisms. There's also the usual issues from previous titles such as Invisible Walls. The Invisible Walls are even more prevalent in this older title. Despite these issues as they were, there is something special about 3 though. I mean, why else would I have played it so many times, right? So where can you get 3 Remastered? PlayStation, Xbox, and PC. And being readily available through Game Pass for more cost effectiveness if you want to try it for yourself. And though 3 is the oldest title out of most of the games, it's still got parts that hold up to its younger counterparts. Hopefully that answered how good 3 Remastered is, but does Kiryu make a convincing argument to Hamazaki after his failed collusion with Lao Talon?
Oh, Kiryu.
お前は浜崎。
全て失っちまったよ。お前のせいでな。俺はもう終わりだ。だが捕まるくらいなら首でもくくるわ。
何言ってるんだ。死ぬくらいなら生きて罪を償えよ。
なんだと？
死ぬ覚悟があれば何でもできるはずだ。お前に信じるものがあってやり直すつもりがあるなら力を貸すぜ。
そんなこと信じろってのか？
ああ。
そうか。なら試させてもらおうか。あ？死ぬ気にならって何でもできるってか？信じる？やり直す？ああ？ふざけんな！お前に教えてやるよ。人間死んじまったら信じるところじゃねえんだよ。おめえはあんねえんだよ。おら言ってみろ。死んじまう時は信じるとかどうとかどうでもいいんだよ。
俺は信じる。
おい、警察呼べ！おい！てめえ何してんだ！こい つこの野郎おとなしくしろキルさん
おじさんおじさんおじさんしっかりしておじさんそんな嫌だよねえおじさん
俺は峰に教わったんだ。信じる心ってのは人間死ぬ間際でも持てるんだってことを。
That criticism cut deep, but like everything, Kiryu shook it off.
She knew it all. It's a fleeting dream. No one can reach the horizon. She knew it all. It's a fleeting dream. No hands can touch the sun. If you cannot stop this pathetic time, oh, bring back, all I need is proof that I live. Take me to the end of the world. It's not a mercy that I'm asking. Oh, please, take me outside of these walls. One near from the blue sky, even if my wings made up to spread.
Hey! Happy Halloween, everybody!
Let me guess. You're Jesus.
This is awkward.
Yeah, looks like one of us is gonna have to go home and change. And it's not gonna be me.